So my name is Griffin Larson, and I'm a photographer. A little bit about some of my earlier work and some of my inspirations. This is a photographer that I've been looking at for a very long time, Fan Ho, and I definitely resonate a lot with their work and how he captures light in scenes. Some examples of some of my earlier work, mostly street photography. There's a large emphasis on utilizing light and like its capability to enhance subjects in a scene. So that's something that I think a lot about in my previous work. Um, in terms of my work currently on exhibition, it's a series called Mind the Edge. And for me, the title is it's a play on words, and it references a climbing phrase, like minding the edge. And in climbing, minding the edge of something is there's a very real danger with, there's just like the presence of an edge. And in terms of my work, and it ends up representing like that there's like this sense of inevitability and hesitancy towards like some of the feelings I have while creating this work. The edge for me embodies what comfort is and how I feel about staying comfortable, and also reaching like a point where I go out of my comfort zone. I guess that's the best way of saying that. On the surface, it isn't really immediately able to be seen through the work. I feel like most people read it initially as landscape, but I always encourage when I'm saying, like, telling people how my work should be viewed. I think that it should definitely be viewed like walking down and experiencing it image by image and just seeing what each individual piece makes you feel. Something that I played a lot with this body of work is scale, and utilizing scale to really engross people in the imagery. And that's a large part of my overarching idea with the work, is to have it be something that is accessible. And there's some of these places and spaces sometimes feel very inaccessible, especially to me growing up in the Midwest in Illinois. And a large part of the work for me is the fact that it starts off in my hometown and then it ends and finishes in my hometown. This is kind of like a chronological, the images on the screen right now. You see like how it's supposed to be seen as the first image of the tree, and then it goes all the way over and finishes with the field. And both of those ending bookend images, those are of places where I grew up and I'm very familiar with. And to me, that's like a sense of like comfortability. And then the other spaces in between is this feeling of grandeur and awe-inspiring nature that I feel like I never really had access to in the past. So the large portion of my work and what I want it to do for people is encourage that sense of explorative, like I guess just a sense of exploration. The reason why I did larger prints, I felt it was important for these images, not only to not have glass, because I felt that was somewhat of a barrier to the images, but I wanted people to feel like they could step into the work. And the only way that I felt that was possible was having some of the images be vertical, because to me, that almost feels like a window that you are able to like just visually interact with. And I felt like that was important, especially as someone who does a lot of landscape work, for it to feel like you can almost step into the frame. So that's why I think not incorporating glass ultimately aided in the work's completion. And I feel like also too, we're rarely given opportunities and time to experience things that are just stagnant and stay. And for me, that's the power of landscape photography, and being in the moment or in those moments is it's almost like a pause for you in life to just focus on one thing and not be constantly moving on to the next thing. So I feel like that's something valuable, and I would also hope that people would be encouraged to go find some of these spaces. That's another reason why I wanted to create this work as well. Um, so yeah, thank you for listening to my little blurb and talk, and definitely recommend, if you haven't already, go and check out the rest of the installation. But thank you.